Back on the campaign trail after his own brush with illness, Donald Trump is now trying to revive his re-election fortunes.
Next to you.
Trump tossed masks from the stage at the first of several events this week. Following a 10-day separation from his hardcore fans, it appears absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience.
While the thought lingered, Trump sought to alleviate any concerns the tightly packed crowd may have had about catching the virus.
And I said to my people, we are going to take whatever the hell they gave me and we're going to distribute it around to hospitals and everyone's going to have the same damn thing.
Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, young man.
Seemingly reinvigorated, Trump wrapped up the rally dancing with the crowd, even as the tone jarred with a country in crisis. The contrast with Democratic nominee Joe Biden couldn't have been starker. He visited another battleground state. At one of several socially distanced events across Ohio, he attacked Trump's handling of the pandemic.
That's Donald Trump's presidency. 215,000 dead because of COVID. Experts say we're likely to lose another 200,000 people in the next few months unless we take some serious action, and he doesn't know what he's doing. All because this president's only worried about one thing, the stock market. He refused to follow the science. It's estimated that if we just wore these masks nationally, we'd save over 100,000 lives between now and the end of the year.
Biden himself is now heading to Florida. With the election day just 3 weeks away, both campaigns are in overdrive.
Well, I'm now joined by William Glucroft from our US election team. William, Trump seems in a fighting form again. This apparent recovery, what role does it play in the campaign?
Fighting form and back to making unsubstantiated claims. It can't be said enough that there is no conclusive science on whether someone who's had corona and has the antibodies in their blood is immune, and if so, for how long. So we definitely can't say that enough. Donald Trump has been promising something better or an alternative to Obamacare, to the Affordable Care Act, since he ran in 2016. He and Republicans have not yet actually presented any concrete plan to what that better health insurance reform might be that they want to replace Obamacare with, and they've been trying to strike down Obamacare through the courts for years since it was first passed. And we should be very, very clear that the kind of health care that Donald Trump got for most Americans is just inaccessible. America has phenomenal health care, but terrible health care access. Great doctors, great medicines, great hospitals, but for most Americans, it's just out of reach, even with Obamacare. For many Americans, health insurance is still just way too expensive. Medicines are just way too expensive. They're still not the kind of access that you need. And even if everyone could somehow get that kind of care that Donald Trump got, it's just impossible for a hospital system, for a medical system to be able to give that kind of attention and treatment to every single person. So not so realistic what Donald Trump is offering.
Coming back to the campaign, they're going to Florida now, or Trump is going to Florida now. How important is that state for the election?
Florida is always that sticky widget in the campaign. Of course, it's infamous forever from 2000 being the decisive or indecisive state, coming down to just a few hundred votes, and the Bush-Gore campaigns going to the Supreme Court, how that presidency was decided. Florida is always an important state, by no means decisive. It has 29 electoral votes. It's also an extremely diverse state, which is why there's often such razor-thin margins between the winner and the loser in presidential campaigns. You have large Jewish population, large LGBTQ population. You have rural conservatives. You have a large Cuban immigrant community and their descendants, which they tend to be among the more conservative of Latino voters. So it's a real mixed bag of voters in Florida, which is what makes it such an interesting and weird state and a very difficult state for candidates to crack.
Biden has a strong lead over Trump in the polls, and he's also outspending Trump on campaign ads. How important is money in this?
I mean, as we say, money talks, and I think it's impressive how much money gets spent on U.S. elections. I don't think many people realize that as much as $1 billion in total, if not more, can be spent on TV ads and other kinds of spending to try to, convince voters one way or the other, even though studies show that voters are mainly have their minds made up and there's only so much that another TV ad, another internet spot, a web spot can really do in convincing voters. But to that end, Democrats, that includes Joe Biden, the campaign itself, the Democratic Party, and their affiliated nonprofit groups and super PACs, they are out spending the Trump campaign and they're out raising the Trump campaign. Just to give you a few numbers, they've spent $85 million more on TV ads than the Republicans, and they brought in way more money. Just in August alone, Democrats brought in $365 million in donations to the Republicans, $210 million, which gives them much more money to spend with, which is exactly what they're doing in these last weeks before the election.
Those are crazy amounts. William Bluecroft from our US election team, thank you very much.